we're not just a food company anymore. We are a tech data driven company. Everything really switched to online. That really shifted our entire model to make sure we were set up for online ordering, tech delivery, and make it as seamless as possible for our customers. And having that customer data is just so huge for our marketing because we understand our customer. I can give them instant satisfaction. And with Ovation, we have an 80% return rate with anyone who's left us negative feedback and came back to order again. They've won over 95% of my disputes ever done, and it's saved me at least $300 a month every month in battling the disputes. Our tech stack is really made to be a set it and forget it kind of option.
You guys have a great tech stack at the same time driving online sales, driving total revenue. Jarrod, excited to be talking to you today again about Salad House, but this time on the technology side. I really admire what you guys have built on the tech stack for Salad House for two reasons. One, it really enables your owners to own and operate without having to be in every single store at all times. And the other thing is you guys do such a good job with marketing, online ordering, delivery, which is backed by a really cool tech stack. So love to jump in and talk tool by tool. But before we do that, how does Salad House go about thinking about the tech stack in general as it supports franchisees?
Yeah, I think our tech stack has grown exponentially the last 5 years or so as the tech boom kind of happened. Not to go off track here, but I've been with Salad House since the days we were receiving, online orders via fax, or I had DoorDash before they even had like an online app. They were calling me, placing pickup orders, sending a driver with a DoorDash credit card, paying for it, and then bringing it to the customer. So it has come a long way. And I just think where we're at in 2026, the way the new generation thinks, everyone's on their phone. We're not just a food company anymore. We are a tech data driven company.
I love that. And you can see, again, even on the financial side, on average store revenue, lowest store still being at $1 million in revenue, like you guys are doing a great job supporting and staying on top of all of your numbers as well and leveraging tech. So can we start jumping through each of the tech items that you guys have chosen in the tech stack from two different lenses? I'd love to know from an operational standpoint, why was this tech chosen / how does it support me? And from a financial standpoint, why did you guys choose this? How is it helping increase revenue?
Yeah. So it actually all started in 2017 when we signed our first franchisee in Westfield. But we were on a POS system called Harbor Touch, and it just wasn't giving us the data we needed. We wanted to know menu reports, product mixes, what's selling, what's not selling, and really revamp our menu to get it to a point where we're comfortable selling it out to franchisees. So we started interviewing a bunch. We interviewed Clover, Square, Toast, Micro POS at the time. And at the time, we were still very, very new, 3 locations. We were very, you know, worried about our budget and what we can afford. And we kind of dissected all the different things from them, all the API integrations, because we knew the tech boom was coming. And we decided to go with Toast in 2017 because we just felt they were the strongest partner. And I think we did our information well because I think Toast is the number one POS in the country right now.
Yes, I mean they're definitely the most common in food by a large margin. I think it's because of the APIs, and you're like, okay, I want to be on all the platforms and I want it to be simple. So, yeah, my experience has been really good with Toast as well. So there's a good percentage of it going through third-party delivery apps like Uber Eats and DoorDash, but then there's a large portion also just ordering on your guys' website and your guys' app. Is that correct?
That is correct. And then it was very strategic on us. We knew it was coming. I hate to bring it up, but like you saw the huge shift in COVID. Everything really switched to online. The kind of in-store presence really dropped for a couple of years there. It's definitely making a comeback. Everyone wants to get out and stuff. Not to use that as an excuse, but that really shifted our entire model to make sure we were set up for, online ordering, tech delivery, and make it as seamless as possible for our customers. That being said, we switched to Toast, and then what was the next thing we wanted? We wanted an app. All these guys have apps. We want to be able to reward our loyalty customers, and we wanted to give them a reason to not go to DoorDash, not go to Uber Eats because, they eat a commission from you. We want you to order from us. We're going to give you the best price, and you're going to be part of our rewards program, and we're going to give back to you because you're so loyal to us.
Tell me a little bit more about the rewards program now that we're there. When I came to the Discovery Day in New Jersey just a few weeks ago, I was told a few numbers that were really impressive. Like, one, over half of your customers, 52% of anybody ordering directly from us, so outside of Uber Eats or DoorDash, 52% are loyalty members, which is over 3 times higher than the industry average. So I guess, yeah, what are you guys doing on the loyalty to be so much? I mean, you're not 10% better than the national average. You're 350 plus percent better than the national average. And you guys have really, really good loyalty customers. What's the secret behind that?
Yeah, secret's our marketing team. Kudos to them. But honestly, we when we switched to Toast, this was very in the beginning stages of online ordering and QSRs, and they had a built-in loyalty program which we were using, but it was very simple. It's like, hey, spend 10, you get $2 back, this, that, and we're like, this isn't enough. We wanted a more robust program. We were looking at like the Starbucks and the Dunkin' Donuts apps, and they had these awesome systems where you could either get a drink or maybe I save for a coffee or a breakfast sandwich, and that's what we wanted to provide. We wanted to provide them with options because the $2 off after every X amount you spend isn't for everybody. They want some kind of instant gratification or something on every purchase, whatever it may be. So we started shopping around different loyalty partners, and first it had to integrate with Toast, and it also had to integrate with Olo. So we landed on Thanks just because of how robust the program is. The customer segmentation we have from finding out what they like to order, what's their order habits. We know what time somebody orders every week. Like, hey, this person orders 11 o'clock every week, and now we can go ahead and target them for either dinner promos, or if we know they're ordering that day, we can get an email out 30 minutes before we know their typical order time is. And having that customer data is just so huge for our marketing because we understand our customer. We know what they want, and we use that to our advantage to target them and get them to keep coming back to us.
The other stat that I heard when I was at Discovery Day with you guys just a few weeks ago is typically to get people through your loyalty program, you're discounting them on average 3%. That's the kind of the industry standard. So you're like, okay, that's the downside of loyalty. Maybe, yeah, I can have more loyal customers and I can remarket to them, but I'm discounting them 3%. Where Salad House is about half of that, right? You guys are between a percent and a half on average on what you guys have to discount.
That is correct. We're typically sometimes we're even lower than a percent. I think our average is right around zero point 0.9 to 1.3% per month. Um, we have spiked up to 2% in some months. And what does that usually mean? There was a special holiday promo or a new store was opening. So we sent out massive mailers to get new people to come to a new store and handing a lot of things out. But almost every month we land well below the industry average.
Let's move over to Ovation. So that's the guest feedback. With guest feedback, it's kind of a two-edged sword because you're like, well, I want the guest feedback, but I don't want bad reviews on Google because those are permanent. How does Ovation allow you guys to get more guest feedback while only increasing the positive reviews and just allowing you to respond directly to negative
Yeah.
reviews?
So I want to say Ovation's probably my favorite tech stack in our tool for franchise operators to use. Ovation's linked to our Olo, Toast, Thanks. So anytime an order is placed with us via our native mobile app, native web ordering, about an hour after your order's due, you're just going to get a simple text to answer two questions. It's not even answering two questions. It's smiley face, sad face, whatever it may be. Just kind of how was your experience? Anything 4 stars or below, even though 4 stars is really good, but I get notified. And what does that do? It looks like it opens up a text chain with me and the customer. So if they left a comment, I can respond to them immediately. And it's not, and 4 stars or below, it's not prompting them to go to a Google, write us a review. It's kind of like, hey, here's my feedback. Let me answer them quickly before they go do a Yelp
Yeah.
review or a Google review and kind of mitigate the issue. And another nice thing with Ovation is I can give them instant satisfaction. So if somebody's like, hey, you forgot my dressing, hey, this is Jarrod from Salad House. So sorry I forgot your dressing. Work with our team to make sure there's better food accuracy. But to make it up for you next time, here's $5 off on your next order. And because it's a one-time use code now, I can go ahead and see on Ovation if that customer came back and ordered from us. And with Ovation, we have an 80% return rate with anyone who's left us negative feedback and came back to order again, which is a really nice feature. Really nice,
Yes. It's such a cool tool. Yeah. So at the same time, you're just increasing all of your reviews, right? But the ones that go to Google and are prompted are only the 4 and 5 star reviews. The other ones, you get the feedback, but more importantly, you get it instantly. Because if I'm not at my store every second, I don't need to wait till tomorrow or the end of the week or the end of the month to get that bad feedback. I'm like, oh, why do we run out of chicken that day? I know that my chicken was cold an hour after that meal was served. So I also love that service. Zach Oates, because he's a Utah
Yep.
guy. So super, super cool.
Just to add one more thing to Ovation, where you're talking about how can an operator or franchise owner kind of step away but still see what's going on. I may call my manager and say, "How are things today?" He might just say, "Hey, everything was smooth, everything was great, nothing too big." But what Ovation's giving me is like, "No, you know what? It wasn't that great. I had 8 negative." Reviews today that I was able to see of guest feedback that this was missing or this was missing. It said, and Ovation uses AI to put this stuff in a subcategory so that it might mention the facilities. Maybe your bathroom was dirty. Maybe they didn't get great customer service. Like, hey, picked up the food, everything was great, but the person at the front register wasn't smiling or on their phone or had headphones in, whatever it is. And this is like, and you can choose who sees Ovation. Maybe you don't even want to give it to your manager. Maybe you want to handle it. That way you see all the true feedback coming in from your actual
Yeah.
guests. And it's not just like a friend going in there saying it was great. You're seeing what the guests want you to see.
Yeah. Super cool. Love that service. Moving into the next piece of the tech stack, Marquee. What is that and how is it supporting your
Yeah.
franchisees?
So Marquee is something franchisor gives to you guys. We handle all that for you. We pay for it. It's an SEO listing and review management platform. So Marquee is connected to all. It's over 1,000 different things, but mainly the key players: Apple Maps, Google Maps, your Google listing, Yelp, TripAdvisor, Apple Maps. And what that does is we control it on our end. So we're controlling all the SEO listings out there for when someone searches the Salad House brand. We're controlling the graphics and the photos that are represented on this page to make sure it's up to the Salad House standard. And it provides security with the customer that we are a business that is giving accurate information. So let's say we know Thanksgiving is coming up. You go into Marquee and update your hours one time. It updates it on all these different platforms for you. Make sure your business Google listing's up to date, where sometimes you go to a Google listing and it says, holiday hours may differ. If we put in those holiday hours for Marquee and we say we're open, that actually gets removed. And now you have 100% confidence that we are open. You're not going to drive there for no reason, and we're open for business. And then the other awesome part is it kind of aggregates all your reviews from Google to Yelp into one section. So you only have to log into one platform, go to my review management. I see them all from any platform: Yelp, Google, Apple Maps, and I can reply to them all from one portal, which makes it really nice to see everything in one spot.
Yeah, definitely looking at like the average reviews on any salad house location, you can see that you guys are monitoring the reviews and caring for them, giving the very quick feedback as well. Now, one of the things on the operational side, which is really cool for customers, is the limited time offerings, LTOs, like the seasonal soups and the monthly Caesar salad that you guys do. Um, Talking about menu board management, pricing, things like that. How am I adjusting that? And how am I training my employees when a new menu item comes out?
Yeah, I think that's the joy of joining the Side House program. You don't have to do anything. We control the menu boards digitally and remotely using a company called Flashbox. They use Roku channels to host your TVs and your menu boards and your Salad House TV. We control everything that goes up there. So all you have to do is turn on your TVs, and if we have an update, it'll already be there for you. The only thing you have to do when we send out an update of the Caesar of the month, like I said, we give 3-week notice. You just have to make sure your staff knows that this is going to be on the menu this day.
Awesome. Now, you guys also have one called Vouch, which is really cool and really applicable when your average store is doing over $50,000 a month in Uber Eats and, third-party delivery orders. So tell me what Vouch is. Why'd you guys go with them and how's it saving your franchisees money?
Sure. So as we started growing and our third party presence really started growing, we noticed that a franchise or an operator wasn't always getting to their third party reviews. To log into DoorDash and Uber Eats every day and go in there and see all your reviews, or if somebody disputed that they didn't receive their order, whatever it may be, it was a very time filled task for them and one that kind of got pushed to the wayside. You just see the orders coming in, but you don't really know what's going on. Not only that, if you've ever seen an Uber Eats or a DoorDash invoice at the end of the month, it could be very confusing. You're running promotions, they have commission rates. Depending on what state you're in, they're required to pay taxes for you. So when you see this sheet come in with all the numbers and the breakdown, it could get really confusing for some, even us included, which is why we moved to Vouch. What does Vouch do? It's a complete third party dispute management and reconciliation tool. So they tell you exactly how much they paid for you in taxes. So you can have account reconciliation. They know how much you spent on marketing, how much on promotions. And then the best part is they dispute anybody who says they didn't receive their delivery for you. If they said something was missing from the bag, they use AI. They don't even ask you questions. They just do it all in the background for you. They've won over 95% of my disputes ever done. Costs $100 a month, and it saved me at least 300 a month every month in battling the disputes. So it's just one of those things where it pays for itself, and it's a no brainer to have it on.
I love that. Well, one thing I also wanted to ask about Toast is you guys also use Toast for your marketing because it's way easier now. The issue with kind of any marketing company is like, oh yeah, I'm going to put Facebook ads up and Instagram ads up, but I can't really track the conversion rate because they're not ordering on Meta, right? Or on Instagram. They could be walking through the store where Toast has a lot more clarity as the point of sale system if you market through them and run ads through them. Can you explain a little bit on
Yeah,
that?
so it's actually a newer platform we did, and we loved it so much because we're trying to obviously we want to keep advancing in tech, but we also want to make it easier for our franchisees. And if a platform does something really well and we can bring multiple things to that platform, why not? So Toast rolled out Toast advertising about a year ago, and it's just made it so much easier. We used to use a company called Targetable, but why go to another company, another platform when you're already used to Toast? It's what you know, it's the brainchild of your business. So they now have an advertising tool in there. And what we do is we actually preload the ads for you. So we know exactly what you need to run, and they're all listed in the Toast advertising. All you have to do is log into Toast, see which ad you want to run in, and set a budget behind it and hit go, and it's running for you. And then what we've done is we linked it to Google tags and our Olo online ordering. So we could track that ad all the way from a view to a click to an order. And we can even see if it bounced out of the cart.
So we've mentioned a lot of tech. I know some of the tech is paid to Salad House directly versus some services are paid directly to that service. What is the total cost and kind of the breakdown?
Yeah, so I always like to separate it in two parts. There's some subscriptions like your Toast subscription that you need to pay for to run your business. And then there's a tech fee such as Olo, which is our online ordering, Thanks, and Ovation. Those are mandatory. What we do is we set up are what you would be billed on for your tech fee. It's Olo, Thanks, and Ovation, and Flashbox for our menu boards. We pay those direct because it saves you guys money. If we were billed individually, we wouldn't get the same rate. And we also want to make sure, God forbid you guys didn't pay, we want to make sure you're still available on our app so it's getting paid in the background. We pay those things for you and we ask for a reimbursement on the royalties that we send you. Things you're paying for that don't come on your royalty fee are your Toast subscription fees to run your POS software and your Olo catering fees and your gift card fees. Those are things you're just going to pay. You have to pay them every month coming out. The Olo fee is $307. The Thanks is 285, I believe, and Ovation is 95 a month. And the menu boards depend on whether you're selling smoothies or not. If you're selling smoothies, it's going to be $50 a month. If you're not selling smoothies, it's going to be $40 a month.
Which kind of that total at what it is right now is either $677 or $717 based on that variance of the smoothies. That that does change here and there, but that's what it is today. Either one of those prices. So we've mentioned a lot of tech, and if somebody's listening to this and thinking like, I'm not technical enough to run this restaurant, what would you tell them about this tech stack?
Our tech stack is really made to be a set it and forget it kind of option, but we don't want you to forget it. We encourage you to go in there. You need to respond to reviews, but all you have to do is make a login. We show you how to go to the reviews. You respond to them just like you would respond to somebody coming into the store if they had an issue. You want to have that kind of human interaction with them. You don't want it to be AI or robotic. Just respond to them like you would anyone coming into your store. As far as logging into Toast, very simple. We can even set up auto reports for you. If you're having that many issues, we can send auto labor reports to you, auto sales reports to you. And, if you hire a good accountant, he should be giving you this stuff anyway. Menu boards, you don't have to do anything. Ovation, once you're in, it's like sending a text. Everybody knows how to send a text. You can just send a text to someone. So we make it as easy as possible for you, but we do encourage you to go in there and see how robust these platforms actually are.
I love it. You guys have a great tech stack. It does such a good job at allowing owners to operate their businesses effectively with data without being in there 80 hours a week. At the same time, driving online sales, driving total revenue. So, congrats on everything you've built. Super, super exciting.
And thank you.